Alright, today is 10/12/2024. I'm here bringing you guys my second trade recap, and these are some trades that I've taken in the month of October. So we're just going to quickly go over some of my good executions, some of my bad executions, names I'm watching in the future that are currently setting up in my opinion, and then just a recap of, my thoughts on the market, my performance, and yeah, so let's get started with my bad executions. So for starters, we're going to talk about Calm. I took this on Friday. The green line is my fill. Um, so pretty much I filled somewhere around here, and that alone wasn't enough to be following my system. I was just right off the bat, just poor execution. I ended up cutting this before it even took low day because I didn't want to realize the full loss. So I ended up only taking about a 0.48 realized R multiple loss instead of a 1. Uh, yeah, I never even took out 5-minute opening range highs, and I filled before that because I knew that my stop loss was going to be greater than the ATR if I did fill above this high. So yeah, I guess just I don't even know if I want to call it a chase. I just want to call it poor execution. So yeah, that pretty much sums up that trade. So then we're gonna go to Peloton. Sorry, Peloton. So this one was on this day here. Let me just quickly pull that up on my TradeZella real quick. Sorry. Okay, so this trade, um, pretty much sum it up. It was a chase. Simple as that. I chased. I did have this on my radar. I took it off my watch list, my actionable watch list. I took off the alert because this day here, the name was under the 10 and the 20. So I was like, you know what? I'm not really interested. Even though everything else I really liked, like the declining volume, the higher lows. It's been surfing on the 10 for quite some time now. Built this nice tight range. So I did like it, and it seemed like it wanted to break out, but it failed to close above this candle here and some overhead resistance. And yeah, so I actually ended up cutting that before it even took out low of day, just like I did with Calm, just because I wasn't happy with the fact that I chased. Poor execution. Yeah, pretty much sums it up. I was going to take it on this day here. I did tweet about why I didn't, but to pretty much sum it up, it's because at the end of the day I ended up taking out, that opening range high, and I just wasn't a fan of taking an execution pretty much near close when I had, I didn't have all day to build cushion heading into close. So yeah, other than that, every execution I've taken this month has been B or A rated. So yeah, we'll get to that in a sec. So let's start with my cores in terms of my good executions that I'm actually proud of, that are making me money, but that doesn't even really matter. Let's just call it the executions I'm proud of, regardless of whether or not they're making me money. So, cores. Yeah, so I was actually in this. I cut this position fully on this day here, um, but it actually ended up setting up again. Higher lows, lower highs, declining volume, higher lows on the specific moving averages or moving averages. So the 10 and the 20 in this case, not just one moving average. And then yeah, on this day here, it obviously broke out with massive volume, closed above all-time highs, which we love to see. We took on the 5-minute opening range break, and as you can see, these nice volume candles here were beautiful. It actually ended up dumping a little bit, not catching too much volume until right around, I think that's lunchtime. Yeah, pretty much lunchtime, 1 o'clock. And then it ended up ripping the rest of the day. So, lovely. Uh, this is just a reminder to myself to not really get cute with trades. Some people I know are talking on social media, Discord specifically, in these swing trading Discords, that, cores was done with, it's over. You know, the stop out is imminent. And honestly, I just stayed I was convicted with the setup. I had major conviction with the setup, and I just had faith. I had a stop loss in place. Even if it did stop me out, I could have lived with that loss because, in my opinion, this setup was 5 star. So yeah, on to the next. Gevo, GEVO, whatever we want to call it. Pretty much everything I'm looking for. Nice big move, pulls back, starts making higher lows, declining volume here, and then we took it on this day here. Yeah, nothing much about it. Still holding 100% of this position. Same with cores. Same with everything in here actually. AAOI. I know not a lot of people were actually looking at this name, but I took it on this day here out of this little nice range break here, higher lows, surfing moving averages, declining volume on the day of that breakout. The volume did come in, could have been better, but you know, it was good enough. Still holding 100% of this position. Finally closed above this overhead resistance right here. Anticipating, which you know may or may not be a good thing. It seems like it does want to fill this gap. So yeah, 19 a share would be crucial. That would be awesome. We had a nice close on this day here. TECL is just a technology ETF, leverage ETF. So pretty much it just broke out of, it's not like a typical flag setup or anything. It's just a nice little range break right here. It made a nice move recently. Made a nice move from even from this low. Pulls back, makes another low, and then makes another nice little move, and then has this nice little range. Breaks out of it. This was also, I think, the main holdings of this ETF are Nvidia and Apple and AVGO, and all of those names look pretty nice. AVGO has been on a runner for the past 21 bars. Apple looks like it's ready to explode. Very nice. And I know Microsoft is a part of it, which doesn't look good, but that's besides the point because Nvidia also looks good. We're also in Nvidia. It's a nice little leveraged ETF. We took it on this day here after this nice little trendline break with higher lows. Yeah, nice range break, good volume. 10 out of 10 trade in my opinion. Everything I'm holding right now has not been trimmed. Holding 100% of all of it. Let's see, a couple other trades I can talk about. Oh yeah, silver. I took silver. It's a loss that I took on this day here. I entered on this day from this nice little range break at the time on this candle. Um, Also, some silver names have been setting up. They look really good. Stopped out. You can live with it. It is what it is. Took a full R loss on that, I think, or no, actually I took a 0.98 loss. 0.98 realized R multiple loss instead of a 1. So I can live with that. It actually ended up breaking out again. I didn't end up taking it because the ADR is a little lower. It's below 5, which I don't typically like. Also, let's see what else. QH is something else I took. Oh, this execution, well, honestly, it looks even better now that I think about it. But yeah, I think I took it on, let's see, what day did I take it on? The 4th. The 4th. Oh, yeah. Actually, this is another execution that I wasn't like upset about, but I wasn't really ready for it because I wasn't on my setup when the alert triggered. On this day here, it took this high. Honestly, it could have it could have used more time. It could have not. Also, it's just which is why I took it. I think I ended up closing it because it didn't end up closing green on the day. That ended up paying off pretty well because it ended up doing this little weird gap down right here. And now it's just finding support on the 10, but this looks even better now. But yeah, another setup I can live with, or a loss I can live with. Good setup, looks even better now. We'll definitely be looking at this for next week. Also, we took TQQ on this day here. I ended up cutting it on Friday. Wanted to open up some buying power for cores because I was at the time pretty much 100% invested. I just wanted to open some buying power up for cores. So we ended up cutting TQQ just because it's also a slow mover, but it can definitely end up, at least run into the 80s, $80 per share, roughly. So yeah, let's see what else. Names I'm watching in the future. So this is like my not ready yet list. Some of these names I am definitely interested in for the next week. RKLB in specific, this thing looks like it just wants to keep going because that's what it's doing. I think it looks really nice on the weekly too. Yeah. Um, yeah, I just want some more sideways on this thing, and this thing could definitely go. I was contemplating on taking it this day here. I didn't. Maybe that's gonna pay off. Maybe it won't. We'll see. But I do like this name here. AQST. I've been hawking this, but yeah, it's got a little bit of choppy price action. UEC, it's something I could see potential in. I just want to see some more sideways. This is a silver name, I think, I believe. I'm pretty sure this is a silver name. Yeah. I want to see some more sideways on this, and this thing could definitely do something nice. GCI, and then QH too. But I'm actually going to make this actionable for tomorrow. Because if this goes tomorrow, it can definitely go. So, yeah, we're going to set an alert on that. Other than that, the month of October has been pretty good for me. Let's check right now. I think I'm up like 7% on the month, which doesn't even really matter. I'm more happy about the fact that my executions have been very calculated. I've been disciplined for the most part. I came to the conclusion that, you can realize you're making mistakes, but for as long as you don't fix them, it's just forever going to hinder your progress. And I just tell myself that every time, every time. I'm pretty much bound to make a mistake or, you know, execute a bad habit. I just remind myself like I'm setting myself back even further. So, yeah, this month has been pretty good for me in terms of execution, in terms of P&L, 7.29% on the month so far. Like I said, which doesn't really matter because I'm just really focused on execution, making sure my process is flawless. And yeah, other than that, I don't think I have too much else to say. Um, Once I start trimming these positions, or whatever happens with the market, start selling these positions, either partially or fully, I will bring out another recap. And yeah, I'll probably I will probably be coming out with a scan video within the next week or two, probably next week, just to go through my scans again. Um, so yeah, thanks for tuning in, and see you guys in the next one.